y'all.
Yo, the big 5-0, man. We made it.
That's why I'm letting the applause like ring out a little bit longer this time because it's 50 episodes. And again, consistency still remaining, my guys, because we just dropped yesterday. Dropping again on Tuesday, which is today when you guys are listening to this.
Word. But if you haven't listened to our previous one, episode 49, we talk a little DCEU, we talk a little MCU, we talk a little Star Wars, we talk a little bit about everything, you know? That's just the kind of people we are.
Yeah, and, you know, thank you, everyone. There's 50 episodes, like, for fucking with us and all that, so...
yeah, because if y'all wasn't, we wouldn't be at number 50.
Exactly.
If we saw y'all wasn't with us, we would just be like, yo, fuck this. Why are we wasting our time with this?
I mean, but with that being said, if we have 50, you should already know that it is the Brown Steve Jobs, Mr. Steve Austin, a.k.a. your host, Norman Rad, a.k.a. Ozymandias here joined just today only. Just hopefully it could change for next week's episode, but just joined over HD audio airwaves by the Custoza from the Lost Borough, a.k.a. Clown Prince. And unfortunately, Zoom is all the way in Jackson, New Jersey. He can't join us.
Too far.
Yeah, he's too far out. He's too far out this week. But shout out to Zoom. Shout out to Magneto. And guys, we're gonna get into some current news, and then we're gonna talk about the Outsider, like spoiler free. But that will be extremely brief. And then we're gonna get right to the shits. But
so right. If you haven't seen The Outsiders, I'm sorry, The Outsider, no S. I always get that shit confused.
That's some New York shit to me, like adding an S to everything.
It's like, because that's a completely different thing. The Outsiders.
Yeah. It's
like
from
The Outsider.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen The Outsider, you could stick around for the first half of this podcast. We will be doing news that just dropped briefly, because not much has dropped since a couple days ago when we did another podcast. And then we're going to do like Ariel Steve spoiler-free review. Once you hear Stephen A. Smith, I recommend you log off. Because the second Stephen A. stops talking, I am telling you who got clapped. And you don't want to stick around for that if you don't want to get you read the book, that's fine, but haven't watched the show yet, that's fine, I guess.
I mean, it's still at your expense. I mean, at your
discretion.
Yeah.
Listeners' discretion is advised. But not yet. So briefly, with any news that's dropped, today, Marvel Studios decided, let's celebrate Women's International Day a day later, and they dropped the final Black Widow trailer. Was not expecting that shit. Woke up, phone buzzed, boom, Black Widow trailer. I was like, oh shit. I completely forgot about this shit.
It's actually pretty early for them to be dropping that.
Like the final trailer?
No, actually, they're pretty late. I think they're pretty late marketing wise. I don't know. That's just on me because we just, the most recent trailer we had before this was the Super Bowl, right? Was that like the first trailer, or we had something before that?
Nah. We had something before that. Yeah, we had something before that. We had a couple TV spots. The Super Bowl shit was pretty much a TV spot because it was only like, I think, less than a minute long. And then, this was like the last definitive trailer. We'll probably get a few more TV spots, though, along the way, like especially the month of April, because it drops May 1st. So we'll definitely get, 2 weeks. We'll probably get another like big teaser when they drop the tickets. So,
oh yeah, that's the thing. I gotta keep that in mind.
Gotta keep refresh your Adam, refresh your Fandango.
Yeah, I gotta keep that in mind. Shit.
But no, it's projected for a great opening weekend. Of course, I don't think anyone doubted that. A, Marvel Studios, B, Scarlett Johansson, C, Black Widow. So, but I haven't to following your footsteps, I haven't watched the trailer. I posted it. I didn't watch it though. Reasons I typically don't watch final trailers anyway. I think this is a trend that I myself have just found myself under. Is that I've already seen what I needed, like to hype me up, I don't need it. I don't need any more. And usually the very last trailer is the one where they put the most shit because they want to get people to the theater. So at least that's how I feel.
It's really
Um,
unfortunate too that they do that. Like for like, I mean, we can name. I know this isn't the trailer podcast, but we could name, at least I can name two trailers where they showed a little
yeah,
bit too much,
right.
too early before the film came out.
BVS and Civil War.
Yep, BVS and Civil War just like gave like the big crazy shit away.
It's like,
And
you should
yeah,
have kept that for the movie, so we would have got hyped.
dude.
But nah, yeah, either way, but you know, if Twitter's not going on a frenzy or Instagram's not going on a frenzy, so I don't think they dropped anything crazy.
Yeah.
I do feel like this trailer, I mean, this movie in itself is just gonna be more self-contained anyway, because it is taking place. It's an origin. Oh, well, it's not really an origin. I don't know. You see, I don't know. The
That's the
trailers
thing.
really haven't.
Even with the
Yeah,
synopsis,
we don't
though.
know. Yeah. Like it's just kind of like, in a way, that's a good thing. I'm going in there and I have no idea what I'm about to get into, and I kind of like that. I just know it's taking place after Civil War and before Infinity War,
Yeah, and I don't even want to get into
and I'm here for that.
I don't even want to get into the fucking like theories around it.
Nope. Yeah, we could do a whole separate. We could do a whole separate thing on that.
Yeah,
Which, matter of fact, write that to the list. We will.
Yeah, we will.
That's exactly what we'll do. But no, yeah, that's what dropped today. We posted it. If you guys haven't seen it yet, check it out on our page at Comic Gods with a Z. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for Black Widow. I know I'll be there May 1st, sitting my butt down with a a whole thing of popcorn, enjoying the shit out of it. But another, speaking of more trailers, we're probably gonna get a teaser trailer for Eternal soon too. That should be coming out within the next month. I think while Black Widow comes out, actually, we'll probably get that trailer. Yeah, maybe. Wow. Either that and also Venom 2 trailer. So be on the lookout for those two things.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So Black Widow movie, Eternals trailer, teaser trailer, Venom 2 teaser trailer, and possible trailer.
Do you think we'll be getting, I'm assuming at least for Black Widow, we might get like another Morbius trailer or something. I'm expecting like more footage from that.
Well. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I don't know. They didn't drop. They dropped the trailer not too long ago, the first one. Yeah. But I guess every team's marketing is different.
I'm also expecting. Wait, I mean, I know that's not Marvel related, but I'm expecting like some more Wonder Woman too. I'm assuming.
Very true. Yeah, because that shit's in June or June, July. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. By the way, today was a beautiful day here in New York.
It was
reached almost 70 degrees. I love that. Summertime on the way.
Global warming's like winter who?
Yeah, that's nothing to joke about, but yeah. But yeah, exactly. Last thing I want to touch on with the MCU, Thor: Love and Thunder will include the Guardians of the Galaxies. And this is of the galaxy, sorry, not galaxies.
Is this confirmed by who exactly?
It is just confirmed. No, by Vin Diesel himself.
Oh, okay, all right, lit.
He's promoting his movie Bloodshot.
Yeah.
Yo, that shit is based off comics, and I want to give it my support, but I'm just like,
I just don't. And also,
I'll just wait.
Also, I don't know what studio's behind it, but clearly they don't trust it enough to make it rated R, because this is a really bloody comic.
Right.
Can only tell by its name.
But my right, but my shorty Isa Gonzalez is in it, so I might have to go watch it.
Yeah, Isa. Shout out to Isa. Shout out to Mexico, bro.
Facts.
Yo, Latinas out here, bro.
Facts. Speaking of which, Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas. I don't know why I just said it like such a fucking such a Caucasian person.
Oh my god.
Ana de Armas.
Ana de Almas.
Yes. They are dating.
Fam.
So Poison Ivy
yo,
and a
homeboys,
retired Batman.
yo. Well, number one draft pick for Poison Ivy. We don't know that
Facts.
yet.
Not
but
confirmed yet.
Yeah.
There's speculation. There's speculation.
Well, you heard it
that
here
the DC,
first.
That the DCEU is going to draft her for
Yeah.
Poison Ivy.
You guys-
First round pick out of LSU.
Yo, I cannot wait for Comic-Con, bro. So we could get
Facts.
this draft class, this new draft class in. But
Yeah.
But dude, come on, man. Like I just because like he just so happens to be in Cuba, and she just so happens to be from there, and they just so happen to be in the same picture at the same time.
Nah, they're dating. They're dating. What you mean? It's confirmed. Bro, have you heard Ben Affleck speak Spanish? He actually speaks very well. I think he lived in Mexico. Yeah, he lived in Mexico for a couple years. Yeah, shout out to my Batman, bro. Speaking of which, so yeah, guys, I think we covered all MCU stuff. Just in case y'all were wondering.
Yeah, because I'm here like completely blown away.
Like, wait, is there any more shit? Like, oh yeah, and if you want to go see Bloodshot, I guess I'll let you know when that's coming out in theaters. March 13th, so this weekend.
Oh yeah, this week.
Yeah, so exciting. Yeah. Nah. We're creators. I don't want to shit on someone else's creation because I would feel like shit if someone was shitting on my creation.
Yeah, but come on, guys. We also would not be telling the truth if we weren't honest about how we felt. But,
how we feel?
Yeah.
You're right. But if y'all are interested, Vin Diesel's in it. I'm sure he'll play the same role he plays in every movie.
Oh my God! See,
nah, I'm just joking. Oh, but yeah, so wait, before I go to Ben Affleck, yes. So Vin Diesel did confirm Guardians will appear in Thor: Love and Thunder before they appear in their Volume 3 movie. So looks like they're gonna tie in that whole. I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be where we left off in Endgame, them dropping Thor off wherever he needs to be. So I'm sure they won't be there for much of the movie. Strange. That's what I think. But we'll see. You never know. And this is one thing where I'm glad Taika's gonna be touching, which is Guardians. I feel like his writing with their characters is gonna be phenomenal.
Also, so it's gonna be a really interesting collaboration because this is almost like. All right. See, this is the thing. This is why it gets bad when Zoom or Mark isn't here, because I'm gonna say some wild shit. I'm saying some wild shit right here. I'm gonna do the drop right now. Taika Waititi, Oscar winner, by the way. Just let y'all know.
They know, bro. They know.
Just let y'all know. And like him and James Gunn is like Drake and Future on a track together. To me, dude. Are you kidding me?
In terms of comedy, I guess.
No, I'm saying like in terms of dealing with funky characters, like that's what I mean. I don't mean it in any kind of way like if Christopher Nolan and Zach working on a project or something like that. Obviously that's a completely different
working on a weekend like usual. That's my shit. Zach and Chris Nolan on the same track? It's over.
We're gonna start referring to movies as tracks now.
Yo,
but yeah, like I could just imagine.
I hear you though.
Yeah, like imagine, like that would be so fire. Like especially before they start filming, like James Gunn hits Taika up, like, all right, like I mean, it's also safe to assume that this has also been in development, like at least how they're gonna open Thor 4, because clearly that's coming out before Guardians, correct?
Yeah, and he's with the Guardians at this moment.
Exactly. So like, I would love to see what that send off is, or what the expected return on that is. And in terms of what I mean is like, all right, so we dropping you off, we picking you up later, or like, you know what I mean, like that. Like,
yeah, I definitely think they are gonna scoop him up later. Like in the beginning of the movie, they're gonna drop him off, and then they'll come pick him up at like the end credit scene. It's like, yo, we back, and like he's like all fucked up. He's like, yo, I needed y'all.
No, that's lit. But speaking of Guardians 3, Dave Bautista was speaking. I don't know what interview it was, but shout out to Charlie. Haven't shouted you out in a while, my guy. He was speaking on. I'm talking about Dave here. He was speaking on like Guardians 3 and
Right.
where the stories could possibly go from here. And obviously this isn't spoilers because none of this stuff is concrete. He
Right.
was saying that James Gunn is basically like Marvel's new Russo bro in terms
Well,
of
there you go. We got him and Taika. They're the new Russo
exactly.
brothers.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah, because they're kind of the driving creative force behind like all the cosmic stuff that's going to be going on. At
Yeah.
least in terms of
And
the
they've both been around already. Like
exactly
they're
like
both known.
exactly. So it's gonna according to David Bautista, he said, él dijo that
Is this verbatim
this
or
is
paraphrasing?
paraphrasing because I don't know because even Charlie paraphrased. So
Mhm.
apparently James Gunn when he was pitching Guardians, he wasn't just pitching Guardians. In terms of Guardians 3, he like
Right.
when like Marvel was making him like yo like you're gonna be handling all the space stuff. They told him he told them he told Marvel like I also have ideas for like spin-off stuff like the Rocket and Groot thing was like a thing that was a rumor already, but he did pitch like something for Rocket and Groot. He pitched something for Drax and Mantis, but Dave was like he was mad cool about it. He didn't seem salty about it. He was just like we're characters that are already cemented like these are ideas again that were just shot out there and obviously Marvel already has their stuff planned out for the next 5-10 years so there was nowhere to fit all that stuff in and then
Yeah.
and then Charlie like after that it went on to say like it's really cool that Disney Plus is a thing because Marvel is basically like the projects we're seeing on Disney Plus is basically things that either wouldn't work well in one movie or
isn't necessary
or isn't necessary for a 2-hour film.
right.
It just would work better with more time with the character because
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Like
Yeah.
there's well, at least for me, the only one I can really see being big on screen would be Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like I would go to the movie theater for that. Like something like a Loki. I'm not going. I'm going to the movie to watch it, obviously, because this is just what we do. But if I was the general audience, nah, I don't give a fuck about Loki. Like not enough for me to go and watch a movie on him.
Yeah.
But I get what you're getting at. Like
Exactly.
they have an opportunity because of Disney Plus to be like, oh, we want to do a Drax and Manta spinoff. Yeah, just throw that bitch on Disney Plus. People are subscribed anyway, so they're gonna watch it because why not?
Exactly. But
Yeah.
the thing is that we're also getting things that, and I disagree with Charlie in terms of because he thinks that, or like again in his opinion. Wow, this is crazy that I'm disagreeing with him. But he did say he said that he thinks that like a Hawkeye film or WandaVision film wouldn't work in theaters. Like he thinks that like they wouldn't perform well on the business side and stuff. And I'm like,
I agree with him.
I'm like, I agree and
I
also
agree with
disagree
him.
because, bro, if Venom could break, could make more than Justice League.
Why? I mean, to be fair, it was a fan-made film.
Yeah, oh, right. See, right. I take that back. You're right. It was a fan made. It was. I think it's the highest grossing fan made film of all time. To be honest, but
right.
But
No, I get what you mean though.
I
get what you mean, and I get what Charlie means too.
Yeah, but it's just really cool to see that that Disney is actually allowing some of these things to happen because I think it's way safer to again like I could get killed for this. I don't care though. Well, I do think it's way safer to do Miss Marvel as a TV show first, and then gradually build her character up.
Wow, you're fucking sexist.
Same thing for She-Hulk. Same thing.
Wow.
Same thing for whoever's
sexist.
Same thing for whoever's the next Hawkeye. Same thing for
any female lead. Disney Plus. That's basically what you're getting at.
No, but I also mean it. I also mean it for Sam and Bucky because we've built this kind of rapport like where we're like we know what they're about, but we want to we want to get to like this is like the new wave of getting to this is like the new phase one in a sense, but for
Mhm.
like the side characters that are now stepping to the front that they're not gonna be starters
Right.
because the OG six starting six, like they're gonna be bench veteran players on veteran minimums for now on.
Or unfortunately have passed away.
Well, I didn't know why I'm laughing about that, but it's just the way we talk.
Yeah. Word. Like as if they're real, like they're on a team. They're about to play tomorrow night. But nah, yeah, that's dope, man. MCU with this shit coming out. Oh, Vin Diesel also said in terms of the Guardians that it will feature Alpha Groot. So I think we're gonna see him grown more than we have before, like even in like the
Yeah,
first one.
yeah.
Which is gonna be nice. You know, it's good to get different variations of Groot.
That's the thing that's even more appealing is that this is not clearly not the same Groot from Guardians 1.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
it's because like Groot again, he can regenerate, yes, but every time he's broken down like that, he's like starting new again, like he's a completely new person and all that.
Right.
Like the Groot from Guardians 1 was literally just Rocket's best friend. Like they just like they just fucked
They've
with
been
each
around
other.
for yeah.
Exactly. This time around, it's literally like Rocket's son, in a
Right.
sense,
Yeah.
and like it's just
This was about to be Rocket's dad.
yeah.
Bossing him around like, yo.
Yo, it's gonna be really dope. I'm looking forward to anything like weird coming out. I'm saying from any avenue of comic book stuff, like
Right.
anything weird, I'm in there. And especially since it's James Gunn, like he's gonna smoke that. It's gonna be
Yo, imagine like he gets like he already does have creative control at Marvel, but even more now that you're saying maybe he has his hands in more things than we may think.
yeah. He
And
could,
also
yeah.
and also imagine he has more hands on DC than just Suicide Squad. And he's just like pulling both strings. He'll be the fucking dude, bro.
I
Like,
mean, he would.
I got control on Marvel and DC. What's up? That's me. I'm
Actually,
that guy.
I mean, now that you mention it like that, yeah, James Gunn
Yeah.
he's running point. He's definitely running point for.
But the thing is that I love is that when you go on his Instagram and like you check out his stories, if you guys don't, you should.
Mad informative,
Especially when it right, like he goes in detail about the stuff he's working on, like, and he reads the comics, so it's not like I'm sure most directors do, but the fact like he'll talk about it and he'll just spit you like he'll hit you with facts about the actual storylines and the comic books and stuff like that.
and
So
where
like
he's
he
coming
really
from.
yeah, and he really paid attention. He knows how he's gonna translate what he read onto the big screen with these characters,
Yo,
which is dope to see.
That shit gets me so hyped when somebody is like into what they're doing, because it just shows that much more dedication to it and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like it's like, oh, you think like it's like somebody like imagine somebody questioning James Gunn's motives behind the film. Like he's like, fuck out of here. Like I know this shit, my guy. Like,
shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. But yeah, man. That's MCU for y'all. The only yeah. Well, not really DC stuff, more Zack Snyder stuff and Ben Affleck stuff, which I was mentioning before. So before we got into him and Anna dating, which you seem pretty upset about, and I'm sure the other
I don't
fanboys
care,
are too.
I don't care.
Yo, I be seeing that shit on Twitter. Shit's dumb funny. They're like, yo, she's not going to give the cheeks to you, so why do you care? That's just bad funny. But nah, so he was on an interview with GQ, Ben Affleck, and they were talking about his new movie, right? Like The Way Back.
Yeah.
And then they did a whole crash course kind of his previous roles, and he would break them down one by one. Not all his roles, obviously, but one of the most like, the most important ones that he did. And of course, they got to bring up Batman. So they brought up Batman in terms of him playing it in BVS and in terms of Justice League. And I posted this on our Instagram page, but this gave me a lot of closure. Especially being a big Batfleck fan that I was, where he said, and I'm sure majority of us can agree, that his time as Batman in Batman versus Superman, he said was amazing. Like he loved every minute of it, and he loved Zach. Literally, he said that. Not verbatim, but that's pretty much what he meant. He was like, my time spent on Batman vs Superman was way better than my time spent on Justice League, obviously, for majority of reasons. But just to hear him say that, because he never really openly spoke out about it
Yeah,
in the way that he did in this interview, was really cool to see. And he was just like, he was for it, that he had all these ideas that we've previously mentioned this on other podcasts as well, about him, writing, directing, starring in the Batman, and we got that Deathstroke teaser. And so like he was really into it until the fan made Justice League movie.
exactly.
So, but it was in case anyone was wondering, like, yeah, maybe Ben Affleck, just wasn't trying to do it, this and that. Nah, he was 100% with it. He loved it. He didn't know much about the character, he said, before he got the role, but
Yeah,
he loved the character, loved playing him, and it's unfortunate what happened, but at least now he and some closure on that. And just the last thing on him and Zach. So it's March. BVS came out. What was it? 4 years ago this month. On March 28th of this year, BVS comes home. It's a charity screening to benefit AFSP, which is the charity that you know, Zack Snyder is it's the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention,
hmm
and obviously his daughter had committed suicide, so they're having this charity screening where Zach will be in attendance. It's in Birmingham. Um, so yeah, the address is there. Anyone's around. It's 211 South Old Woodward Avenue. If you want to go check it out, if you're in the Birmingham area. He will be there to make an announcement before the movie drops. I don't think it'll be the Snyder Cut, just because I feel like that's not the occasion to bring it up. Or maybe it is, because the whole release the Snyder Cut movement has also been very linked up with this suicide prevention association.
yeah,
So in a way, this is so dope to see. No matter if you want to see the cut, no matter if you care for the cut or not, the fact that people who do support him and support this cut so much are donating lots and lots of money for this cause is just speaks volumes. And we always talk about how toxic the comic book community can be, but there
yeah.
is another side to it where they can be very, very generous and very, very wholesome. So it's very dope to see, and I'm glad to see that positivity and that people are sticking with Zack Snyder, and prayers out to him and his family still, obviously, over the tragic death of his daughter.
Yeah.
So yeah, if y'all are in that area, y'all can go catch a screening of BVS once again on its 4-year anniversary. But yeah, I'll probably watch it that day too. Fuck it, why not? But yeah, so we're done with news, I believe. Oh, we got two smaller things. One is the Boys season 2 official images gave us our first look at Aya Cash as Stormfront. And apparently Stormfront is the only one, or not the only one, but one of the ones that could compete with Homelander.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So we about to get some fucked up shit. About to get some good scenes.
That's lit.
Yeah. So I don't know much about her. Don't want to know anymore until the season 2 comes out.
Is there a
Uh
projected date, or that's
nah, they
TBA?
haven't said anything yet. Yeah.
Yo, look, what is going on, y'all?
Let's see. Let's see if they said such things. Um Nah, it just says 2020. All right, we here, we waiting.
Alright,
And the last thing, apparently Mandalorian season 2 has already wrapped up production.
that
So
is easy to believe because it's a lot of it's a CGI fest, dude. So that's
yeah.
easy. Go to Atlanta.
And like there's only like 3 lines of dialogue
Exactly.
all season
Come
long.
on, man.
So yeah, that's it for news. And now we can talk about our main event of the evening, which is The Outsider, a novel written by Stephen King. And of course, HBO just has to pick it up and has to make a great show out of it, because why not? So we will briefly touch on it, spoiler free. So if you're still with us and you don't want any spoilers, you can still stick with us, because we're just going to briefly touch on it. No spoilers. All right.
I'm gonna be very brief.
Go ahead.
That show was lit. Y'all should check it out. Is frankly like again, HBO. I have yet to watch a dud from them. I don't care how you feel about Game of Thrones or anything else. To me, they have not missed, and this is the best show I've seen on TV since Watchmen. To be frankly, like in terms of obviously it's not as like the wow factor is not the same because this is a completely different kind of show. But
Yeah,
the
100%.
the intrigue that I had for Watchmen, like yo, this is interesting as fuck. I want to keep watching. I want more.
Yeah,
I got it out of this show
right.
specifically because of the content, obviously the way it was shot, and the fact that it's Stephen King, and the fact that like again being cursed with knowledge about other Stephen King stuff, it is just completely mind boggling.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna touch on. If you're a fan of Stephen King, you're gonna be a fan of the show for the most part. You if you read or have watched any Stephen King, so we have The Shining, we have Doctor Sleep,
Yep.
and now this. So if you've seen The Shining and Doctor Sleep and you liked it, you'll pretty much like this as well. It's deals with the supernatural
Yep.
being, but supernatural in the real world.
Yep.
And I love seeing these kinds of things too because it really does make you question, like, fuck, if this happens
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
real
Yeah.
life,
Yeah.
like we are fucked. Um, but and that we need to be closer to God. We need to start praying more.
Yeah.
That's what it to me, especially growing up in a very and we'll get into it more when we get in our spoil filled
Yeah.
review, like with Spanish households, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah. For
any
sure.
any little sign of supernatural shit is like nope, nope. We pray, we get on our knees right now. We praying.
That's
We
right.
don't play that shit. But nah, y'all. On the real though, I think it was very, very well made. To those that have read the book, I'm sorry if they changed some things you didn't like. Boo hoo.
Get over it.
But right, boo hoo. I will say though, if you're into action, you're not gonna get much. There is action here, but don't think of it as every other scene is something crazy's happening.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
It's more tense.
tension.
Yeah. It's more tension.
It's more tense and more detective work that you don't really have to do the detective work yourself, but it makes you question stuff. And I will say, once they start getting into the nitty gritty, you're like, oh shit. Like you have that oh shit moment, like, oh, that's
Happened a
interesting.
couple
It
times.
right. But so yeah, if you read the book, obviously you know what you know, and if they change something, well, sorry. And if they didn't change anything, great. For
Yeah.
those that didn't read the book and haven't watched it yet, yeah, I recommend it. There were some parts for me that felt like it dragged a little bit, but nothing that took me away from it. But nonetheless, the acting was phenomenal. Again, a prime time HBO show never really disappoints.
Nope.
So yeah, we'll get Stephen A to bring us to commercial. And guys, like I said before, once Stephen A is done talking, y'all better turn it off because we are going to spoil the shit out of it. So everybody dies.
Yeah, I waited for the commercial break to find that out. And that's it. We're done, guys.
Yeah, that's it. That was the show for y'all. Nah, but yeah, man. So if you still are tuning in, you've either A, read the book, B, watched the show, or C, you don't care about spoilers, which is fine by me. We've warned you, so it's a spoiler warning now. Um,
Yes, sir.
so I don't want to hear no, oh, I got this spoiled for me. Yeah, we told you. We've been told you. So I don't want to hear it. But yes, The Outsider season 1. Yeah, man. The first I saw the trailer, right? Obviously before it came out, and I saw that my son Ben Mendelsohn and Jason Bateman were
Shout,
starring.
shout out to Australia, number one. because my guy Ben is from Australia.
Is he actually?
Yes, he's Australian.
Wow.
So
Shout
shout out,
out, yo,
yeah.
shout out my second home. You're right.
Shout out to.
Melbourne. He was born in Melbourne.
Oh, he's from Melbourne.
Yes.
So
Wow.
shout out to
I
Ben.
I appreciate him even more now. That's crazy.
Exactly, and he is fantastic. Like he is like this dude. Like I've seen him. Like the first time I seen him acting was in The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, that's right.
And I thought he was like he played like again like anything that he gets, the any pack of script that he gets, he's like, oh, you want me to do this? Done, and it's believable. Like
Right.
he did it in The Dark Knight Rises. Like obviously I don't remember his name because he didn't have that big of a role in it.
Right.
He was a side character, but he was believable. He played a douchebag banker.
John Daggett.
Yeah, he's John Daggett, like some just some asshole banker. And then the next time I saw him acting again was in Captain Marvel as Talos.
Talos.
And he made me like a scroll. Like
Yeah.
I never like come on, man.
And you know what I noticed? Like his lisp to me is so like it's sort of becoming iconic in a way.
And it's not even distracting. It's almost like,
it's not.
oh, that's his thing. Like he sounds like that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, oh, so that's Ben. Like he has that kind of trademark lisp.
Yeah.
So you know him for that. Also, he was in Ready Player One. He was the villain in Ready Player One.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what? You watched that, didn't you?
Nope.
What?
Yeah, I'm not as big on Steven Spielberg.
That was a great movie, dude.
I'm not as big on Steven Spielberg stuff. Like the
And
only Steven Spielberg films that I'm like, oh yeah, that was lit. Was Jurassic Park and Saving Private Ryan. I think that was Steven Spielberg. I don't remember. Let me. I got IMDb right in front of me.
He was also in Rogue One.
Oh yeah. See, but like, again in Rogue One, he didn't play that. He wasn't, to me. It wasn't that big of a character, but he still again played a. Oh yeah, Steven Spielberg did do Saving Private Ryan. To me, my opinion, best war movie of all time. But like that's a different podcast. But yeah, Ben Mendelsohn smoked this.
Yeah.
As Ralph Anderson. So
yes,
do you want to just
Ralph Anderson?
So you want to just go through the cast, like just like shout everybody out?
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
All right.
Shout out Jason.
Jason.
We're not gonna go through all their accolades.
Imagine.
But it's just like a whole rundown. People are like, all right, can we get to the point?
Yo, shout out to Forensics Tech 1. My guy Quinn Baza. Yo, smoked it.
But bro, Jason Bateman, I remember first. We touched on Ben. We'll touch on Jason just because these two are very well known.
Yeah.
I first started watching Jason Bateman in comedies.
Arrested Development, right? That's what he did.
Yes, he did do that, but the first movie I saw him in was actually Horrible Bosses, believe it or not. No. Couples Retreat.
Oh yes, he was in Couples Retreat. Yes. I think I've seen only like 20 minutes of that, and I'm like, see ya. I didn't really like that one.
Yo, he's actually from Westchester. He's from Rye, New York.
Oh, shout out to Rye, New York. Shout out to Rye Playland. Shout out to that weird Connecticut / New York border that is just like, hey, am I in a different state or not?
Dead. But nonetheless, with Sir Jason, yeah, I
you just knighted him.
Yeah, he deserves it. I've always just seen him really in comedy. So Horrible Bosses, Game Night. What's it called? There was another one. He's a voice in Zootopia. That shit was amazing.
Oh, I still have to see Zootopia. I'm slacking on that.
But there was something Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
No, he's
Hancock. Hey, Hancock. No, he made a cameo in.
Really?
Yeah, we don't got to go into it now.
Oh yeah, fine.
Oh, The Switch was that one with Ron Reynolds, right? Yeah. Oh no, it was with Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah,
sorry,
Jennifer Aniston.
The Change Up was with Ryan Reynolds, I believe. Yeah, The Change Up.
Yeah. he did this indie film called Extract that was really good. You should check
What was
that
that
out.
about?
It's weird. It's really weird. It's like this comedy drama,
Oh,
sort
okay.
of. It's like a dark comedy in a sense, but it's with him, Kristen Wiig from SNL. Like she's
Uh-huh.
like one of the OGs on SNL.
Oh, Ben Affleck.
Yeah, and it's about like he works at this extract this extract factory for like
Uh-huh.
peanuts or whatever or um some kind of herb or something.
Right.
And he gets into like this a bunch of drama. Like it's interesting, and it's weird because he's one of the like I could probably name like 5 actors on my hand that can play almost the same character in every role, and
Right.
I'm fine with it. That's
He's one
Jason.
of them.
Yeah, Jason Bateman is fine because to me, he's the same character in Ozark. He's the same character in Extract. He's the same character in fucking The Outsider to me.
Interesting.
And but the thing is that there's nothing wrong. It's so weird that somebody can do that or somebody could come off like that to me, and I don't have an issue with it. Like it's
Got it.
so strange. Like he like again, not that his acting is terrible. It's just like he kind of not that he's one note either. Like I don't want to shit on his acting, but he does a really good job of just convincing me that
Of
he's
playing
in.
himself in any role.
Exactly. He's like, all right, I'm Jason Bateman if I got convicted of murder of a child. I'm Jason
Right.
Bateman if like you know what I'm saying, if I'm the manager of this extract place factory.
Right.
I'm Jason Bateman if I'm trying to kill my boss. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird. But him and The Rock are like that for me. I
Right.
can't name another actor, but him and
Dude,
The Rock, yeah.
he was in this movie where it was the first movie I saw that he had a serious role in. It was about cyberbullying. I can't remember the fucking name.
Oh shit! It's called The Gift. Yes.
Is it?
Yes, it's called The Gift. It's with Joel Edgerton, written and directed by Joel Edgerton. That movie is so
right
fucked
here.
up.
Yeah,
I
dude.
seen it. It was
That
really good.
it was just on one day, right? And I was
Yeah.
just watching. I was like, yeah, it's a thriller. If you guys haven't seen it, go watch it.
Yeah,
Fucking
go check
amazing.
it out. It's really dope.
And he just played such a serious character. And I was like, it was weird to see him in that role.
Yeah.
And now it's just, especially because I want to start Ozark now, and I heard it's a very very
you
good
haven't
show.
seen Ozark?
No,
Dude?
and he's in it too. So I was like, yo, this dude is fucking killing it. He is an underrated gem to Hollywood.
He's really
This dude is killing.
And
I'm sorry, I don't think he's underrated. I think he's underappreciated.
Okay. All right. That's a better way to put it because
Right.
he's really talented. Like he directed and produced on The Outsider, by the way. He directed the first 2 episodes.
The first 2 episodes, yep.
Amazing. Like,
And to me, two of the better episodes that they had.
two of the most strongest episodes, mainly because of his that conviction, like the way he just played that out. Like, fam, I didn't do this.
Yeah.
And
Let's get into it.
Yeah,
man.
let's get into this. So the I was gonna say the film because this felt like a movie the whole way through,
Right.
but just that opening shot of that kid clapped on the floor like
Oh
that.
my god! Like I'm like, wow, this is really how we're gonna start it off.
Yo, just
we can't sit down, relax a little bit, enjoy like the premise. No, they're like, yeah, here's a kid with a fucking stick up his ass.
and
like
it's not just that. It was how his back was like broken open. It was how his head was
dude,
hanging
he was
by his arm.
like a dismantled child.
Like
is a
Christ.
hard thing to a hard pill to swallow.
And even though it's prosthetics and stuff, it is still absolutely not mesmerizing because then it's gonna sound like I'm into that.
No,
stuff.
I know what you mean. It's
But-
just to see this and feel the way you feel just goes to show how well they did with the effects.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
and it just shows that you're a human and you care about this stuff.
You're like,
because-
oh, shut.
exactly, because I saw that and I'm like,
I would want to see this. I love to see it where I'm seeing it right now, just on television.
yeah,
I don't ever want to see this shit in
yeah,
real life.
I don't want. Yeah, I'm good on that.
Right.
But
But-
it's really dope to see like an opening shot like that just pulls you in,
Yeah.
and then we get like that kind of nitrate film burning up across the screen, like to have this sense of like I don't know, like it's really weird. Like when it says the outsider and it just looks like a bunch of cells just being divided and
Yeah,
stuff because it's so cool. Like it's just like
it is a cool intro, cool
it
little
is a
opening.
cool like that's what I'm saying. Like HBO took this shit and was just like, yo, what y'all want to do? What y'all trying to do, Stephen King?
Right.
What y'all trying to do? Like the shout out to the writers Dennis Lehane who wrote a couple episodes on this, and like especially speaking still on episode 1, how Ben's character was just like probably one of the best detectives I've seen on TV.
Really?
Yes, you know why? Because it's the classic tale of the skeptic, the classic tale of
That's a good point.
of the stubborn. Like no, this
And I think that's why it went so well with Cynthia
Cynthia Erivo, yeah. Shout out to
Erivo's
Cynthia Erivo. Yo,
character.
I'm gonna give you a round of applause porque Dios
Nah,
mío.
she bodied that. She was the MVP for me.
Yeah.
MVP for me.
Most valuable player of the game. Held it was the glue to the entire show. And she's the outsider.
Yeah.
I mean, her out and obviously El Cuco. We're gonna get into that later, but Cynthia Erivo was just excellent. We didn't get to know her character until like episode 3, I believe.
Yeah.
But
no, the reason I bring her up is because I think she even said it either in the second to last episode of the finale, where she was like, she told Ralph that basically what she was saying was that they complemented each other so well because he always kept her grounded and she made him a skeptic.
oh yeah,
for other things.
that was like on
So
episode
that
8.
was a
Yeah.
So it was just a cool little thing to see that. Right. Although, yes, Holly, what you said is correct. Like Ralph is still bringing her down a level. Like, okay, we still need to because no one else is gonna believe this shit. So we still
Yeah.
have to see it from a realistic perspective. But
Exactly.
Ralph, you need to start seeing it from a more non-detective and non-real. You need to start looking at it from a more supernatural perspective.
Exactly.
Because this is what the shit that's going on.
Exactly.
So I think they complemented each other really well.
Amazing.
But yeah, the you know, well, obviously it's 10 episodes, so we're not going to break it down episode by episode, but we could hit the main beats here where we start off like we said, we don't know who, police are investigating, and there is compelling, not just compelling, but forensic evidence, video evidence. Everything points to one man, and that's local teacher and baseball coach Terry Maitland, who is Jason Bateman's character.
Dude, what the fuck? Like, imagine just minding your business,
Right?
and like, and again, I understand it's like a small town in Georgia and all that. Like, everybody knows each other. Like, that's even the crazier part. So, like, not only do you look nuts getting arrested at a local Little League game
that you're coaching,
it looks nuts to your family. It looks nuts. Like, it just looks crazy because even the officers arresting him are like, yo, I'm sorry, bro. Like, but like, we got to bring you in.
Yeah.
And he's just like, all right. Like, and I like, again, Jason Bateman being Jason Bateman in that situation.
Right.
Like, he's like, no, don't worry. Call,
he's like, yeah, call Howie.
Yeah, call Howie. Shout out to Bill Camp, who smoked it too, as Howie.
He did. He underrated.
Yo, like this.
He killed that shit.
Yo, the bench in this show, bro. Psh, produced a bunch of Lou Williams and Lamar Odoms.
You think? I think Howie. You don't consider him a starter? We got Ralph. We got Holly.
Mm-hmm.
And Terry. So spoilers if you're still listening. Terry dies in episode 2. So
yeah,
it's like
obituary time. That's it.
Bro, that was wild. Yo, so now I'll bring it up when we get there. But okay, so he gets arrested, right? Terry Maitland gets arrested in front of all these people, in front of his family. And Ralph wanted it this way. We got to remember that. Like Ralph was like, yeah, arrest this son of a bitch in front of everybody to embarrass him.
Yep.
Because, again, in the real world, if there's this much evidence towards the guy, he did it. He fucking did it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
And you will get met with extreme prejudice by law enforcement for sure. Because, like, especially because it's like, not that I've been in a situation, but just see. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. I've never been a cop like that. But the thing is that just I guess knowing like, oh, you did this to a kid, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck you, man. Like, come in. Like,
And
bring you
especially
in.
him with his backstory,
Exactly. And we
with
get
Ralph's
into Ralph.
backstory
Yeah, yeah.
of his son, dying. I believe it was cancer, right?
Y-
Or he had some sort of illness which he died
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what it was.
from. But yeah, so and this was a kid that Terry used to coach as well. So
Mm-hmm.
it was really personal
That shit was messy, bro.
for Detective Anderson, for Ralph. Um, but yeah, so he gets arrested, and then he tells his wife, call Howie, again, the lawyer. And again, like you said, Bill Camp kills it. He was just like, oh, y'all done fucked up. Y'all done
Because
fucked up.
one of the best lawyers, he's just like, fam, like we also have video evidence that my guy was in a completely different state at the
Yeah.
same time that this
So
shit happened.
he
So what's up?
hires PI Alec Pelly, which funny thing is he hires a PI who was in season 3 of Jessica Jones, who Jessica Jones is a PI, and he was the villain. Alec
Yes,
Pelly was the villain in
yes,
Jessica Jones.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
Great
yes.
great actor.
He is an amazing
Great actor.
actor.
Shout out to Jeremy Bobb. That's
The
his name.
most regular name ever, by the way. But you have
Hi, I'm Jeremy Bobb.
he has two first names, but usually people with two first names, they smoke anything they do.
Right. So he hires him. They find video evidence of Terry in another location way beyond.
Fam, over 300 miles away. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. And again, as an audience viewer who again, I wasn't cursed with knowledge about The Outsider as a book. Just
Yeah, dude. I was like, oh, so like, and me, I don't know why. I was just, again, that they just set the tone to make it a realistic show. So when I saw that, I'm like, what? I'm like, how the fuck is that possible? As we
yeah.
get more along the episodes, Holly's always like, two entities cannot live within one universe. And like she repeatedly says that. So I'm just
No,
like,
no, no. Two
how was it?
entities cannot exist in two places at once. Like this
Right,
is
that's what it was.
this
Yeah.
is this is this is something that is beyond our realm of understanding. Like she was again, she is the believer and Ralph is the skeptic. So by the time they bring Holly in, but I mean before we get into Holly and like her coming in,
Right.
leading up to Terry Maitland's death, we get like glimpses of this hooded figure, like this dude in a hood, like that's just always watching
Disfigured ass face.
and we get like again, I'm really happy that we didn't get a full look at his face. We just got descriptions of it. We just got pictures of it and stuff like drawings and stuff because
Yo, mind you, these people are fucking artists.
exactly.
Yo, if someone brought me into that room and be like, yo, draw what you saw, I would have been like, dude, this is not gonna help anyone. I'm drawing you a fucking stick figure. Like, but these people are like, I'm not that good of an artist. You draw exactly what he looked like.
Exactly, and it's crazy
I'm like,
because
what the fuck?
again, like being somebody who did not, I'm not cursed with knowledge on any of this. Like I don't know.
Right.
I'm like, who is this dude? What is
Yo,
going on?
you ever see that Spider-Man meme? Like with the Spider-Man toys? Like, who the fuck is
Oh
this?
yeah, who is this nigga? Yo, what the fuck? That shit is funny too. But the thing
Yeah,
is
so
that
that's basically how it was with this dude. Like, who the
yeah.
fuck is this?
So then like you get to see this guy. I'm like, all right, clearly he has something to do with this. But I thought he was before we knew that he was El Cuco, like it was strange because I'm like, all right, so clearly the show is dealing with doppelgangers. But I thought it was just a phenomenon, like it was just this weird entity that was going around creating doppelgangers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then obviously as the story unfolds.
We get deeper, yeah.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, like to Terry Maitland's death, like the poor tragedy that the Peterson family went through.
Fam.
Their son gets mauled by this being,
Yeah.
and then the mom dies because she has a heart attack because she
Crazy.
goes crazy. The son gets clapped because he shot Terry. He gets yo.
My guy Ralph
When I
was like,
see
no
yo,
scope.
No scope, yeah. When I saw that shit, bro, I said, "Yo!" And then obviously I was watching it with two book readers, so nobody got hyped like I
Yeah.
did.
Ooh, the book readers.
I'm talking about you, aka my girlfriend, and aka my boyfriend's my hey yo,
Fast forward.
my girlfriend's dad. Hey yo, I'm suspect.
I just made the crowd laugh and you got some shots. That's cool
Um, yeah, yo, there was like, oh, they was mad cool about it, and I just looked at them. I was like, this was in the book, wasn't it? They were like, yeah. I
Yeah,
was like,
but the thing
okay.
that's all right. There's two things.
I was
Number
like,
one,
okay.
number one,
Mm,
it made me realize once again, HBO has its way to remind you. Oh, y'all forgot we helped make Game of Thrones. Nobody's
right.
safe, my guy. Nobody's safe. Fuck out of here. Like, oh, you fuck with Jason Bateman. That's why you're watching this. Clapping him. Second episode. See ya. Like, yo, I thought.
Oh, where we go get a prominent guy for this role? Yeah, clap.
And the thing is that like I thought the bullet grazed his neck, so I'm like, he's gonna be alright. Like they just apply
Word,
pressure. Nah, that shit was embedded in there. Like that was in there. I'm like, okay. Like
bro. And
damn.
his in his last words, and even his wife pointed out, Glory Maitland, played by Julianne Nicholson.
Smoked it too.
Yeah, now her character was the one that got me like tight. Yeah, I can understand why.
Exactly. Very stubborn. Very very stubborn. But
What I was gonna say is, yeah, his last words was that he didn't wasn't to me, wasn't to his wife to say he loved me. It was I didn't do it. I didn't kill the kid.
that's crazy, dude. Like,
Like, yeah,
and like to just show that in your dying moment, like, fam, yo no hice esto. Like,
right. Like I didn't
I
do it.
like
Like if he did it, he would have been like, yo, I clapped him. I'm out.
yeah, like yo, my guy, that ass. I did that shit. My bad, but you know,
Yo, you know what scene I'm missing that I wanted to just bring up real quick that I
what's
thought
up?
was dope? Probably one of my favorite scenes in the whole series was when he was locked up, right? Terry was locked up and Ralph goes to the prison to talk to him.
Yeah, like off the record. Off the
Yeah,
record, by
off
the way.
record.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Did you ever touch my son?" And like
Mm.
the story that he told, like, "Oh, did I ever touch your son?" Yo, like the kids used to call him names. They used to make fun of him because he would never get a hit. So
And
what
because
I
also he
do,
was shorter than
I
everybody else.
right. He's like, I taught him how to bunt, and those would win us games. Like he started getting a new nickname, like, and people wanted him to go up to bat. He's like, so again, ask me again if I ever, and then like, so he wasn't getting picked on a team. He felt rewarded,
He
and then
felt
like
he
that,
felt he felt like part of something. Like he made sure that his
yeah.
son was part of something. Yeah.
So he was basically just telling Ralph, like, yeah, I did touch your kid, but not in the way you're thinking. Like I touched him in a more emotional level.
Like he was like, I hope I did. He's saying
Right,
like I hope
exactly.
I did. Like I hope I got through to him because especially I feel like part of an adolescent, like being an adolescent, like growing up,
Hmm.
especially if you're involved in extracurricular activities, coaches
Right.
become parent fingers too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so I could see where Terry's coming from that angle, and also how upset he was clearly, but he also kept his composure because Jason Bateman. But I just love seeing Ralph's face, like his
Yeah.
Ralph started again a skeptic through everything, not just the supernatural,
Yeah. I mean, dude,
through
because
everything.
like imagine you as a detective and you have clear evidence that this guy did the murder, but then also even there when the murder took place.
Yeah,
You're just gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, who is doing like this great video editing?
yeah, for
Like, you wouldn't
real.
think of supernatural shit. But yeah, as the story goes on, so yeah, Terry does die, and then so the kid gets clapped, the brother of the Peterson murder kid gets clapped, and then the dad hangs himself and kills himself. So wherever El Cuco goes, tragedy strikes. That's
Yes.
basically what this was all centered around. So now we have all these people still trying to wrap their heads around it, like, what is going on? How are we gonna figure this out?
Yeah.
Ralph, they put him on leave. They're like, yo, you need to get They didn't suspend him. He wasn't suspended, right? He was just
No, he's all right. The way I think it's still realistic. I'm assuming that's how it works. Like
mhm.
I don't know how police
He
departments
was just on
work.
mandatory leave. Yeah,
Yeah, it's almost like again, a tragedy happened, especially you were involved in a shooting
yeah. And
that
you just killed a kid
exactly. You just killed it. So like
in
takes
the head.
exactly. So take some time off, and also
Yeah,
like it's like a double trauma because your son died and you just killed a young kid.
yeah, right.
So it's like you got to take some time off. And again, Ralph being stubborn. The show has a lot of stubborn characters.
Yeah,
Ralph being stubborn, he's like, no, I'm still working on the case. Fuck it, because like what Harley Quinn said, the cop the cop don't do shit until after he turns his badge in. So
100%. Nice BOP
yeah,
reference.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Shout out to
But
Birds of Prey.
but yeah, so then we start getting introduced to Jack Hoskins, played by Mark Manchaca. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Who again, everyone pretty much did an outstanding job. Shout out to our Latino, Unisablo,
Oh,
played by Yoel Vasquez.
yo, de lo mío. You already know.
Facts. But like,
Oh,
and
and
he was with it.
by the way, I'm sorry. Side
He
note.
already knew about.
Shout out to Mark Menchaca. He is in Ozark, my guy. So please go check that out.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he's like
So him and Jason have worked together
yeah,
before.
yeah, for sure. He's that guy. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything about his character in Ozark, but
Right.
you're gonna like it. You're gonna like it.
Right. So my question to you is, why do you think El Cuco attached himself to Jack's character? Do you think because Jack was the one that was most, I would say, vulnerable,
Hmm. Um.
or it was just by chance that he went into that barn that night?
Okay. So that's a very loaded question and a very good question because I guess we like and through answering this question we could like kind of run through the rest of the story.
Hmm.
So from and again an outsider being an audience member, which is kind of meta, watching the show, when I heard El Cuco's name, I'm like, oh shit. Firstly,
Let's get there
yeah,
first. Why
yeah,
we mention it? So I
exactly.
don't why they had brought Holly in. It was the PI that brought him in, her in, right?
Um,
Alec.
Alec and Howie, I think knew her from other stuff that they've worked on before, but I don't know if it was both Alec and Howie or it was just Alec. But Alec called her up like, "Yo, come through. We need your help with this case that we're working on."
Right,
And
because they go to check out the barn. Well, was it Jack does in episode 3, I believe it was, and that's when I thought he was gonna get clapped, but El Cuco was just like, nah. Matter of fact, I'm gonna use you. I'm gonna use you to my advantage.
exactly,
So as the story starts developing, we start learning that El Cuco is vulnerable. Like he needs time to rest, he needs time to eat and feed to get to his full strength. So that's why he sticks around. And I'm just trying to why did they recruit her? I can't remember that part.
oh, because it wasn't all right. It was again. We didn't know at that point that we were dealing with something supernatural. We were just
Right.
dealing with something very peculiar, something that was abnormal in terms of what the evidence was showing for both sides of like against Terry Maitland and for Terry Maitland. So
Right.
the whole Google thing just so happened to come about. Like again, we found out about El Cuco same time Holly did.
Through and through a Latina nonetheless.
Exactly, through a Latina nonetheless. And the thing, what's crazy too, is that growing up in a Dominican household, like El Cuco again was no adult told another adult, "Yo, El Cuco's gonna get you because you're doing some fucked up shit."
Right.
It's always the
The
adult
kids.
telling the kid, like, if you don't be
You better stop.
exactly. But now again, everybody's interpretation is different, right?
Yeah.
But it all means the same thing, as we
Right.
come to find out, or at least through Stephen King's eyes, again,
And
because this
and you know
is
why I find it interesting, and I don't want it to lead into a deeper discussion, but from my perspective, it can.
yeah,
Like you said, we can interpret El Cuco in many different ways, right?
yeah,
Essentially, what is this being? It's the devil,
or a sort of kind of demon.
right? A demon-like figure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And this just it to me it raises the same thing of religion, right? Everyone has a either soul god or soul gods or an above power that they
Yeah,
believe,
yeah,
right? Obviously, besides atheists, but I'm talking about religion in general.
yeah,
But no matter if you're Muslim, if you're Christian, Catholic, Jewish, whatever your religion may hold, we have that one entity above.
yeah,
So I just find that so fascinating that it doesn't matter. We all have a belief system where there's one being above and there's one being below.
yeah.
So it's just like
There's a yin and yang sort of thing that
exactly.
everybody follows or
There's
knows or
good and
understands.
evil, right? But so one yeah, that episode to me was so eerie. That was in the fourth episode, and the title is Que Viene el. Ooh, I was like, oh
Yeah,
shit.
and that's again, that's the thing. Like growing up, that was told to me, and I'm just like, who the fuck? And again, like I'm a '90s kid, so like the internet wasn't as accessible. Like I couldn't just go to like I could like Google didn't come out to way later
Right.
when I first found out about Cuco when I was like 4 or 5.
Mhm.
But again, it was like this weird sense of like, oh, so if I'm in a dark room, I'm gonna get clapped. You know what I'm saying? So then like that was like
Yeah.
a thing growing up, like
Right.
especially with my cousins and stuff. Like, oh, we're not going in that room, like, and
Yeah,
it's dark
you
like that,
bugging.
because El Cuco's gonna be there, and we're like, and then again, as children, is like this something that you should be afraid of that your parents tell you about,
Yeah.
and now seeing it play out in the show like that, like
Yeah.
it's an interesting conversation point because it could be taken two ways. It could be taken, all right, this is an entity that maybe exists, maybe doesn't, but
Mhm.
it is for sure an amazing sort of weird interpretation for a lot of fucked up shit that happens to children.
Right.
And
Yeah.
El Cuco is like, again, when it comes to the paranormal, being Hispanic, I don't fuck with it, bro. Like I don't
No.
I don't taunt it. I don't like make
No.
fun of it. Like I'm cool on that. Like I don't play that stuff. Like not because I'm such a superstitious person or anything. It's just like
Bro,
I
the way we're taught,
exactly like you
it's like like I never Ouija boards, all that stuff. Nope. Out
exactly.
of my house.
See ya. You know why? Because
Vete, vete.
exactly.
Eh, eh.
Yo, shout out to Bad Bunny. Brrr.
He
I
just
know that.
dropped a new album.
Yeah,
That's unwell, you bum
I
ass.
know that's Anuel, but the reason I'm saying that is because that Anuel feature on that album, my guy, is one of my favorite songs on that. I know we
Yeah,
going off
fire.
track here or whatever, but shout out to Bad Bunny, shout out to Puerto Rico, like
Yo, shout out to all Latinos.
for
But
real. But yeah, like it's just crazy. Like I love how this show just shows that different like lens on like, yo, fucked up shit is happening, and it's something like, how do you explain the unexplainable? How do you convince somebody like, all right, this tragedy
yeah,
happened to you because of an entity got
right.
to it, and it's
And
and
I'm glad. So you know how I spoiler free where I was like, some episodes seemed like they dragged. In a way,
yeah,
it was a good thing because you're not gonna make these people believe this stuff right off the bat. Like, not at all.
yeah,
Like, remember the scene where they sat down Glory and she was like, "Really?" She was like, "Is this a fucking
yeah.
joke?"
She's like, oh, you're fucking kidding me, the boogeyman. See ya. And it's
Right.
crazy. And Holly, again, Holly got tight, and Holly also felt bad because Holly's like, yo, like,
I know how this sounds, but like,
yeah,
it's the
like
fucking truth.
exactly. And
But
it just makes her stand out more as a character in that moment as well.
and is that they made Sablo, right? They made his character the Latino cop, or I'm sorry, he was
He was
GBI,
yeah, that's a Georgia Bureau of Investigation, basically the
right?
FBI for the state, like the
Right.
FBI sector for the state.
So he, there was a ride, the car ride that he had with Ralph where he was like, "Yo, man, I'm not saying I believe in this shit, but because he's Latino, so he's like,
Yeah,
yo,
yeah,
like he was more inclined to believe it and more inclined to be like, yo, nah, this shit is real, and we need to start taking that shit serious. Like,
exactly.
because if we continue to see it from a detective and a literal standpoint and facts, we're not gonna get anywhere.
And also when Holly like broke the news, you see Salvo do the sign of the cross, like, nah,
Yeah,
fuck out of here, like that's crazy.
yeah,
And again, it's just this this very, very eerie feeling you get like through those episodes of just finding this stuff out. And then even the interaction that this dude had with Terry Maitland's daughter. Come, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about
Yeah.
it, dude. Like,
And where he went to Ralph's home
oh my God. Like,
and spoke to his wife, sat down on the chair, and he was like, "Yo, tell them to stop." Yo, she at the end of she burned the chair. I was like, "Yep, there you go, girl.
I
Burn the
would, all
shit out
right.
that."
Now, a couple things.
Uh,
Um, Ralph's wife, Jeannie, played by
mm,
Mare Winningham. Shout out
yeah.
to you, Mare. Smoked it. Amazing job being the very caring and understanding wife, and also being the woman next to a man that's just like, my guy,
Uh-huh.
this is real.
Yeah.
And obviously Ralph wasn't having any of it at first, but like that interaction that she had with El Cuco was just like, all right. It also made you look at
All
El
right.
Cuco like almost like, all right, he's sort of like, all right, this is gonna be wild, me comparing it. But you know how Thanos in Infinity War like wasn't just clapping everybody he spoke to, or wasn't trying to
Right.
clap it.
No, I get
He
what
was
you mean.
very calculated. He's like, look, I'm just trying to eat.
But
Again, not to
but
sympathize.
no, right. But you're exactly right, and that's what Holly was getting at, though.
Yeah.
She was like, "Look, he hasn't gonna strike again." She's like, "Oh, now we need to start getting into the detective aspect of it, and breaking down how Holly got to where she did with El Cuco,
Yeah.
where there was what 2, 3 other cases before this, right? That were
Yes.
exactly the same.
Yes. It
Um,
was two cases, I believe.
yeah, it was one with the Latina lady and another with the black guy,
Yeah,
and
and it's crazy how they're all connected too.
yeah, they all had an interaction
Yeah, they all
because
had an interaction.
and I'm gonna butcher this, but I remember it started with the because remember Ralph had sat down Glory and was you guys took a trip, you know, out of the state, and they were like, yeah, we flew there and back though. He's like, you never used the car ever because remember that there was a stolen vehicle
Yes, yes, and they were
with the
like,
kid.
"Oh yeah, like every year we drive to I think Daytona or something like that."
It was somewhere, yeah,
Yeah, they drive to Daytona for whatever, and then like and he goes to visit his father. Like that's what he does, like every now and then and all
yeah.
that.
And
And then
in the hospital, that's where he met the guy.
where he got cut.
Yes.
Fan. Anybody scratches me, I'm swinging on him. Right there. That's it. I'm swinging on you. You scratch me, I'm swinging. That's it.
Don't scratch me.
Yeah, don't scratch me, my guy. Because now you marked me, and now that means I'm gonna get wrongfully convicted. I'm gonna get clapped. I'm not trying to have
Word.
any of that.
And then he got it from having sex with the Latina, but
Yep,
the Latina lady was like, "Yo, that man had sex with El Cuco, bro. He bugging."
that's crazy. Nah, but see, that's the thing that's confusing.
Why?
All right, so El Cuco has to scratch you directly, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means that. Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I just got confused for a bit. It has to be him to scratch you. It can't be like one of his minions or something, right? Like if Jack
Well,
could have
he doesn't have minions really, because like he's just taking like the only minion he really had throughout the season that we saw was
was
Jack.
Jack, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
But
yeah,
like, yeah, Jack can't do anything. He's just under so much pain through El Cuco. Like, his neck got fucked
Yo,
up,
his
bro.
neck look dirty, fam.
I was like, "Ugh."
That shit was nasty.
Yeah, that shit was gross.
But yeah, like,
He was going through it, and then you knew he was going through it when he got clapped by his mom, bro.
all
Jack, remember
right,
that shit?
yo, and that's again, that's a certain part of the whole show that I was just like, all right, this is different because Holly puts us on and tells us again as a child, El Cuco was never really explained to me. It was just something that just exists and you should watch out for.
I don't even want to know.
But but
I'm good.
but
I got God and Jesus with me.
but yeah, according to Holly, El Cuco feeds every 20 something days and he's drawn to chaos and pain.
Yeah.
Um so again, he feeds off of this, which is why he just goes by family because family is brought together by grief, and when everybody's grieving, it's easier for him to feast.
Yeah.
clearly. So that is very, very sick to even hear.
Which is weird because you would think that, Ralph and his wife and how much they grieve over their son, you would think, but the thing was, now that I think about it, it's like, oh, he didn't attack a child of theirs. That's why.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
needs to get to their kid first, and then
Exactly.
he'll give you all the rest.
Exactly.
So
So it
yeah, with Terry Maitland's family basically,
mm-hmm.
and luckily our heroes salvaged the day. But nah, yeah, this whole right. So we get to the and I love the detective portion of it. Holly breaking it down and being like, oh, and they became weird lovers.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, by the way,
mm,
that character played by Derek Cecil.
mm-hmm.
He is in House of Cards, another Netflix show that is amazing. That guy does great acting too.
Yeah. Nah,
Derek
yeah, he
Cecil,
was.
yeah.
They were very. They fit each other well
It
for
was
like
yeah,
whoever the
it
characters
was a
were.
very weird love thing that they had going on,
Yeah.
but to me it was easy to follow. Like because you know how sometimes shows like throw like a random love like arc
Yeah.
in there. It didn't feel weird or distracting to me because it kind of played into Holly's character how weird she was and how
Hmm.
she doesn't really get attached to stuff like that and all that, and like she's just like weird
Yeah.
about stuff like that. But
Yeah. So it's like, Holly actually went to New York to talk to that lady that was convicted of the murder of a kid.
yeah,
So it's just like these aren't coincidences, and she sees that.
no
It's
sir,
like there's no way. And like the car, where was it? Oh, in New York. And who was she? Who was driving it? Oh, this lady was. And then so it's just like everything started connecting. I butchered that, but if you're still listening, you watched it, you know what happened. But just getting to the basic points, it's like this is where it all connected. And this is where you as the audience member is like, oh shit,
yep,
like that's dope that she caught that. And but at the same time, it's dope. But then when she goes back and explains it to the rest of the group, and at this point, we got the whole, like, everyone's there. All the main cast members are there. Like, we got Ralph, we got Glory, we got Jeannie, Al, Howard, Jack. Everybody's there.
freaking the Suicide Squad,
Right,
the
basically,
Stephen
yeah.
King Suicide Squad.
Um, So, and all of them are just like, yeah. So this is what we got this great detective for, like to talk about this supernatural, non-realistic shit.
Yeah,
And again, like we said, Sablo was just like he was the one that was like, yo, honestly, like I believe this shit. Even Alec at the same time. Remember when he was talking to Howard in the stairwell, in the stairways, he was just like, yo, I'm not saying I believe it, but you know, I wouldn't think it's not true either. And you
exactly,
start to get people are getting that vibe because they're like, yo, there's no way this is a coincidence. Like it's not. It's just really not. Where there's things like, oh yeah, it's just a coincidence. But this, they were like, nah, fam, like this is OD. Like the exact same cases, exact same situation. Unexplainable. How can people be at two places at once? And that's where she got that phrase from. She's like, two beings cannot same reality. It's just
exactly.
not possible. And so then we gotta talk about my dude Claude Bolton, my guy. What's it called? Bouncer at Gentleman's Please, right? Is that what it's
Yeah.
called?
No, it's called the
That's what it's called
peach.
in the
It's called
book.
the
Yeah,
peach.
the peach. It's called
Yeah.
Gentleman's Please in the book. Yeah, the peach. So yeah, we don't notice until after. Well, no, we know after we get the explanation of the whole scratch story. We're like, oh shit, like Terry scratched Claude. So we're like, ah, fuck. So then we start connecting the tissues, and so does Holly. She's like, oh
Yeah.
wait, I forgot who was she talking? I think she was talking to Ralph. She was like, oh, you decided to tell me this shit now? Because the only two really in it were Holly and Janine. They were like, yo, this shit is real. Like, it's time to get a move on. And then Ralph was just like, oh yeah, Claude said he got scratched a little bit by Terry. Yeah, by Terry. And they're like, and Holly was just like, yo, my man, you should have told me that hours ago. You should have told me that in the meeting. where everyone looked at me like I was stupid.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Like
But
you make me look dumb, my guy.
yeah. And then they basically was like, yo, either get with it or get lost. Like they basically were like, yo, you're in the way. You're in the way. Um, Ralph's character development at the same time too, I really appreciated like him going to because he was going to therapy, you know, psychologist. And then we get that scene where his son comes up to him in a dream, which I don't think it was his son.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Okuko him like saying, "Oh, you need to let me go." But at the same time, you know, it can be like him just trying to let his son go the best, not in the way that we're thinking of, like, oh yeah, you know, I'm just gonna stop thinking about my dead son. But the I and you know, I'm not a father. Grieving process about losing a kid, and
Yeah.
one day when I have my children, I would never want to have that experience ever, God forbid.
Yeah.
But I think if that scene was really like his son in his dream telling him that, it's more in a sense like, hey, we're good, fam. You know, like live your life. I'm over here in heaven. I'm chilling. Like you did all the grieving, the crying already.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it could be El Google just play. It was could have been El Google just playing mind games with him, to let him go. Like, yo, let me feast on these kids real quick, and we could all move on. But yeah, so Claude gets the scratch, played by Pat Considine. Don't know how to pronounce his last
Oh,
name.
Patty Considine. Patty
Considine.
Considine. Yeah.
All right. Great acting job as well with him.
And also a sleeper character to me because
Yeah, he
again,
was
like
he was he was just the dude at bouncing Jack from the strip club every night, and
yeah,
that's all it was.
and but the thing that's crazy is that like again, I love when shows do that. Like they give you a recurring character, but they make it not that they make it a distraction, but they make it like all right. So we see that Claude might have scratched him, but we see that Ralph kind of like deviates from that kind of information because of again he's a skeptic and what Holly said, the whole scratching thing. Holly didn't touch on it until much later, which is when
Right.
they went to speak to him again. But I cannot believe that Claude ended up being like, all right, like this is the guy like who kind of ended up being like the main kind of climactic thing for
Yeah, it was centered around him,
yeah, and it's crazy
and
too. It's nuts.
yeah, so you know, we as El Cuco is transforming into Claude, Jack is doing all his dirty work, fetching him people to eat, which is just again, ugh, like people
Yeah.
and animals and Suicide Squad. And Holly's like, all right, let me make a proposition to y'all. We're gonna lock Claude up. Where is he now? We're gonna lock him up. We're gonna stick with him. We're gonna have this big slumber party, sleepover.
Yeah.
And then if some shit pops off, that's him.
We can
We
vouch
know
for
for
him.
exactly.
Exactly.
We know for a fact it wasn't him.
He got a
And that's
solid alibi.
exactly what happened when he went to his brother's home, and then go try to take that kid, and then he got pressed at that fucking festival. Yo, he was oh shit. He was like,
Yeah,
I am
again.
screwed.
And that made me realize as well, like from what Holly said, like, oh, clearly he's
He's
being
vulnerable.
sloppy. Yeah, he's being
Yeah.
sloppy. He clearly hasn't eaten properly, or whatever
Yeah, we got you.
exactly, or whatever he's been eating hasn't been sustaining him enough to
He's been
fully
missing
transform.
threes. He's going to the layup line.
Exactly, my
Wide
guy
open
out
layups.
here getting washed in the paint.
getting, getting blocked. Like, oh, this is our turn. Like, oh,
Listen to
turnover,
me.
perfect.
Listen to me, but like nothing is worse than watching like a like kind of like a um an inevitable tragedy almost occur. Like the pendejo kid that's just like, oh hey stranger that I've never seen in my life and don't know and have no relation
Yo,
to.
I
Sure,
literally
I'll go with you to a cave.
right.
Like, come on, fam.
I was telling Kayla, I was like, yo, if we have a kid, like, we
Never.
are teaching him, yo, any stranger comes up to you, I don't want to tell you your shoes untied. stranger danger, you start yelling to the top of your. First of all, I wouldn't even leave my kid around like that. Like, just
Exactly.
do it.
Like just let him run off and
Yeah.
and again, but the way the setup happened, I understand it too. It's a festival
Right.
that
It's
they
something that every year, like
exactly
everyone knows everyone,
yeah
and here you
exactly
have an outsider. And it's a 1 in a million chance, but there you go. That was I was so happy. Yo, shout out to his sister, the MVP. She was like, "Where you go, my brother?" I was like, "Yeah."
exactly.
I was like,
Even
"Yeah."
though she realized kind of late and like instead of going and talking to boys, but I get it. I get it. I get why she went in off and talking to boys, and like I get why like she wasn't paying attention. But I also love how she caught that last, and also showed how El Cuco could be slipping, and he's buns. El Cuco is buns. That's it.
Facts.
If you could get
So
caught slipping like that, you buns. That's it.
his mask off, he started dipping, and then perfect. What happened? What I wanted to happen happened. Holly was looking at Ralph like,
Like
the
he's here, pendejo. I told you. Like
yeah. And then that's when we got the first sign that Ralph was like, "Oh shit, this shit is legit." Like, she wasn't bullshitting.
yeah.
I'm like, "I bet we're all on the same out. Let's go get him." And then this is where disaster hits. When Claude's bum ass brother told him,
Oh my god, dude.
because they was all telling him like, "Yo, don't tell him because what he don't know, El Cuco don't know, and that's better for
No,
us."
but it's not just that. What he don't know is also better for him to protect him because they weren't seeing it from that. Because again, Claude didn't really relay all this information to everyone. The only reason we knew that El Cuco knew everything that's going on was because Claude mentioned it. Claude never said, "Oh, he's in my head. He knows what I'm thinking. Like he knows what we're doing." He only brought that up when at the same time that we saw his brother tell him everything. Cause Holly didn't know that El Cuco like could
Nah,
basically get Twitter updates on
but they
everything that's going on.
were. It's like, oh, injury report, fake, blown
He's
out
like,
knee, torn ACL, lit,
I'm gonna go check
like
that out.
lit. I'm gonna go check. It's like basically like report, but nah. I mean, I thought so though, because why were they telling not telling him anything though? Like, why weren't they keeping him in the loop
No,
then?
no, I think because Claude could be a dude that could just like because again because they didn't have him in custody yet. They didn't want to
Like, he could do
again
some dumb shit, right?
exactly. Yeah, they didn't want him to just dip and leave or be an idiot and stick around. He decided like to take a trip. He was just like, you know what? Because again, he that was voluntary. Like he didn't leave because Akuko wanted him to leave. He left, at least what I think. He left because he was like, yo, I don't feel right. Like something's off about this vibe here. Like I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
he was
dip.
trying. He was trying to. You told. Remember, he said to his brother, he's like, "Yo, like, yeah, there's nothing else for me over there. Like,
Especially with all the tragedy that's
he's my
happened
person."
too in that
Yeah,
little town. So he was like, you know, let me get out of there. Like I've been to jail enough times over there. Like I'm not in any trouble anymore. Let me go back home. Like
yeah,
and I think that's what was really dope about his relationship with his brother is that as much of a dick that his brother was, the main line as anybody with a sibling
hmm
can can completely
relate.
can relate to is that yo, this is my family. Like I'm
Facts.
like especially like if we have history with police and we know how that goes with any family. Like
Yeah,
fuck y'all. Like I don't want y'all in here. And then like I also love how like very vital information was always relayed by his brother. Like if he's smoking bud or if he's just chilling.
yeah,
Like it's just like nigga, why didn't you say this shit earlier? Like
yeah. But yeah, when he told him, and I'm like, Claude was like, "Yo, like, you idiot." He's like, now he knows. He knows what after him now.
exactly. And then
I was
that
like,
was a
oh,
oh shit moment for me right there. Everybody, the audience, I'm assuming, because it's just like, dude, like what? Like Google could now like do this as well, and then like we kind of got a sense of that
right,
when we seen Claude like wake up in the middle of the night and like look through like the window, like he's waking up mad paranoid because he felt like homeboy was there too.
right,
And then that's when Ralph also again started getting more convinced, like, oh shit, like
yeah.
this
Yeah,
is this
Ralph,
is the
Ralph
real
pulled out
deal.
the Glock. He was like, "Yo, who the fuck? Who the fuck scrounging around right now? I'm about to, yo, I shot a kid in the dome piece. I ain't afraid of clapping an adult in the dome piece either." But yeah, dude, and then yo, the end of episode 9, bro.
Dude.
when Alec gets yo, they love headshots in this
Yo,
series.
for real, dude.
Alec got R.I.P. my son Alec Pelly, first one to go,
Well,
and
first one to
then
go from the Suicide Squad mission.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, that's basically what it was.
Damn, Alec, like you really like he was actually, and it's crazy because it was really courageous of him because he was like, yo, like I put Holly on and I'm the one staying, like I'm the one like benched for this. Like
right.
nah, like I'm gonna go out there because I put her on. I should be out there with her. Like I should. And then I love that speech that he gave to Howie. He was like, when I was in Iraq or in the war or whatever. He was like,
all the metal, right?
Yeah, he was like, I had this like before my sergeant told us that we were going in. Like I had this strange taste of copper in my mouth. Like I've been chewing or eating pennies for hours or whatever. He was like, I'm getting that same feeling right now, and not that is a hunch that I'm gonna die, but it's like a hunch that I need to be there. Like I need to do this. Like this is something that I need to do. So
yeah,
shout out to Alec for just being a real one, just trying to hold his own.
Yeah, and Howie too. You know, like Howie didn't have to go there. Like he's a lawyer.
That's the crazy thing too. Like he's a lawyer just trying to make sense of all this. So R.I.P. to Alec. Unfortunately, R.I.P. to to Howie, my guy Howie.
Yo,
too.
Howie got but like, and then so Claude's brother gets shot.
So, like, R.I.P. to Claude's brother.
Yeah, he's dying. So he was the second one pretty much to go. And then my poor son, what's it called?
My guy Andy.
Andy, bro, like
damn,
he got in the car, and then once he got shot, when I saw his hand, like just like the car was rolling back, and then Jack pulls the trigger on the,
he shoots the gas tank, like, and that's what's crazy. Like, so Jack clearly, wait, let me take the sad music off because we don't talk about it. Jack clearly played San Andreas because you could do that shit in San Andreas, just shoot the gas tank on the car. But I'm like, I thought he was trying to G him though, because like when he like let his arm down, I thought he would like, once he heard Jack stop shooting, I thought he was just gonna go dip, like he's gonna like psych,
stupid. I knew son was clapped. I was like, damn. And then Howie went to go take him out the car. Boom, fire. Howie dead. I was like, yo, everyone got clapped.
Yeah.
So our remainders are Ralph, Holly, and my son Eunice.
And Salvo, yeah.
And Claude. But gets hit though.
Yeah, he gets a bullet grazes his arm.
Yeah. And then I forgot what triggered Jack, but he was like, yeah, I'm just done. And then he goes down, and I was like, Hut! Like I like if I saw that in real life, bro, I legit would have just yacked on the spot.
You dead ass?
Like someone blowing their brains out? Yeah. You wouldn't?
I don't know what I would do, man. I mean, I'm not queasy like that, so I don't know. I just don't know.
Nah, I'm not queasy like that either, but like I'm not queasy when it like, you know how people are like, oh yeah, if I see throw up, like I start throwing up. I'm definitely not queasy like that, but someone's brains, their internal organs getting shot up, I was like, ugh. Like even when I saw that scene, I was like, ugh.
Yeah, I know, I feel that, but
I was like, and then even Ralph turned around, he's like, oh my god. Like he's like, and then
what?
We gotta touch on the cave scenes, bro. Like that shit was so dope to me because I didn't realize until after that the cave scene where those people get stuck was the Bolton family, where Claude's brother was telling the story about how they got stuck. I was like, oh, word? Like I thought El Cuco was gonna pop up any minute at that moment, but he wasn't even around. And it was just the kids that got stuck, and then they tried to go rescue them, and they all got stuck.
It was just, dude, that entire sequence there was really tense because I'm like, because it kind of made it out to be that El Cuco was in the cave almost, but
exactly, but
it just simply was just boys got lost in the cave, and that shit can happen again. Very realistic, like that shit is very real.
I never want to go into a cave.
Yeah, like caves are, again, my skin brown, my guys. I'm not doing that. Even though I'm sure there are caves in DR and all that stuff, like it is interesting if you.
I like the small joints.
Yeah, like the small joints where it's just like exactly nice. Like you could just walk in and it's like 12 feet in and you could come right back out. Like No
Okay,
cucos or
back
nothing.
out. But no, but then that goes again with what Holly was her detective work was to hang out around their burying place. So she's like, where's the Bolton's burying place? They're like, oh, the mountains. I mean, the caves. She's like, so that's where he is. I was like, damn, bro, like she just piecing this shit together.
And everybody just looks dumb.
She's just the point guard right now. She's like, yo, here you go. Oh, right there, wide open alley-oop. Come on, son. Like, so then it's her and Ralph going in the cave, and this is where I thought like we were gonna like like and then but nah, Cuco was just in Claude's full body right now. Like he was like, oh, just be careful. Like it's a little slip, like he's a host, right?
Like, yo, come on, dude. Like,
He was like,
yo,
yo,
be careful, my
please
guy.
take your shoes off before you step in. We got some cheeses and some wines right there on the corner. Feel at home. I was like,
Some
what the fuck?
Presidente's in the fridge.
Yeah. Cuco's Dominican. He's like, hey, mira,
Nah, fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here. You're like, oh, de lo mío, it's about time. Like, yo,
Nah,
yeah,
but
the tickets get mad late to the function.
we meet a very arrogant Cuco where he's just like, fam, like the way he was answering Holly's question really brings
like,
up
yo, voice reminds me of
what?
Looking Glass from Watchmen.
If I'm so cold.
He's like, you know who I am. He's like, yo, but she's just hitting him with she's fearless, bro. She like went up to his face. You're like, yo, I'm a who the fuck are you? What you doing here? But
Cuco is
again,
pussy, fam. He's buns. I'm telling y'all. Like, but I do love the interaction because she goes, "Who are you?" And he's like, "You know who I am." And then she goes, "Where did you come from?"
I'm Batman.
And then she hits him off with, "Where did you come from?" And he goes, "I don't remember."
Yeah, which is kind of weird to me. I felt like he was gonna get a little bit more into his back. She's like, "Is there more of you?"
And he was like, "I don't know."
Maybe.
He was like,
maybe.
he was like, I felt something like that at one point, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
And then I had a shawty back in the day, but she was kind of
weird. That's a can of worms moment because I don't know about you, but I stick around for the credits, my guy. I know we're gonna get into this later, but
yeah,
I do think that there's more of the story here that can
be told.
Yeah, to be told. But the thing is that even if they were to stop here, it's fine.
It's fine. No, 100%. And the book ends the way it did in the show, so that's why I feel like they added that moment because Holly Gibney is actually a character in other Stephen King novels.
Yes, because all of Stephen King's things are connected, bro. One of the most vast universes in books I've ever seen.
So that's why I feel like even if they don't do a sequel to The Outsider, they'll do something connecting to it, which is fine. Like you said, it's fine if they don't, fine if they do.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the way it ended, does the book, I can't say it does the book justice because I haven't read it. But I feel like the way it ended is like, okay, fine the way it ended, but if y'all want to continue, go ahead, because Holly in other Stephen King novels.
Yeah.
And I feel like we still have a lot to explore on her end, like her other stories, her other journey.
But also
clearly deals with this supernatural stuff.
But also, like, still touching on the finale, her interaction with him, it felt like, how do I put this? It felt like the unstoppable force meets the immovable object. Like,
yeah,
Cuco even said, like, you believe in me. Like, this is strange. Like,
and
nobody believes in me. Like,
what she tells Ralph afterwards, where he was like, I had the urge to tell him, like, my dad once told me, like, an outsider knows an outsider.
Exactly. A man knows a man.
Yeah, a man knows a man, an outsider knows an outsider. And it's just like, that's dope. And it also like kind of foreshadowing where I don't know how she got scratched or where, but maybe along the line somewhere he scratched her.
I think it probably happened when she shanked him.
Yeah, could be. You're right.
I think it happened when she shanked him.
But then, that scene where Ralph's son pops up to him in the cave,
dude.
and then he's like, "Yo, your
No, no,
job ain't
no.
finished," and he goes,
Wait,
"Or do you,
those
or do you?"
kids that show up in the cave were the boys from the cave, though.
Oh, okay.
I
I
think
thought it was
so.
Ralph. Oh no! And I was watching. It was Ralph's son though, because I was watching after every episode.
Yeah,
They had like and I'm pretty sure one of them said that was Ralph's son.
Oh, okay, all right. Then I missed
Right.
that. Then all right.
So but no, yours would have made more sense. Oh,
Yeah.
but either way, some kid looked at him in the eyes and was like, "Nah, fam, yo, it's still overtime."
Exactly. It's OT.
So
It's
he goes
OT, and you
back.
got the ball. It's OT,
Right.
and we got
So
you got ball.
so he goes back, and I'm just like, "Fuck!" I'm like, more tense moments.
Exactly.
But nah. But again, El Cuco is pussy, because Ralph goes up to him, and Ralph gets arrogant, and I kind of like that because it was something that he didn't even believe in, and then it got to the point where he's like, "I don't care." It got to the point where Ralph looked at him. He's like, "I don't care who or what you are, like you just fucked up everyone's lives, and like I will forever hate you for that."
Yep.
So Ralph was like, "I'm not pussy. Like, I'm gonna fucking kill you." And that's what he did. He was like, and then it was weird because Google changed like his faces to kind of show Ralph like all these people that I have impersonated, like that I have
But
become.
the thing is that we didn't get to see everybody. Like that
We
wasn't
didn't.
everybody.
Yeah.
So
No, not at all.
that's
Yeah.
crazy, dude. That is
Yeah.
nuts. And he just claps homeboy, and then Holly looks at him, and then he's looking back, and he's like, I'm out. Like, I'm done. Final shot at the buzzer. It's good.
Bang!
Bang!
But no,
I gotta get that on the soundboard.
Yeah. But and that interaction again, we were talking about the actor who plays Claude, like his interaction, like seeing El Cuco being him, I was just like, damn, like that's fire acting, because like at the same time, like he was, and Jason Bateman, he went on to say like, we wanted to find an actor that can do that, who can play like the El Cuco role, but also play like himself, looking at the El Cuco role and be like, yo, what the fuck? And like,
that
just
interaction was serious,
yo,
bro. That shit was lit.
he didn't say a word. He just kept staring at him like, what the fuck?
And just clapped him.
Yeah, where is it? He's like, yo, chill. Like, if you clap him, we're all dying, because this cave is gonna fall into itself.
Like everybody telling Russell Westbrook not to take the shot. Yo, don't do that. Ah, nigga chucked it. That's it.
Brick.
Nah, shout out to Russell. Like, come on, y'all know. Like, I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding.
But nah, yeah. So then, just when we think we get happily ever after, so yeah, what's her name? Janine burns the chair.
Yep.
That bum ass Coco sat in.
Should have done that shit off rip. Like after post interaction, like I get it. Like she went to sleep with bloody feet and all that. That's nasty. But like as soon as I would have woke up that morning, I would have taken that chair outside, put us some of that canola oil from the kitchen, burned it.
Crucifix.
Yeah, like just holding a rosary. I just burned it and see ya. And then if Ralph would have came outside, I would have just been like, fam, nigga got me fucked up.
All I know is everybody in that town needs Jesus.
That town just needs a cleanse. Like that, they need to just walk around with a giant sage in the back of a pickup truck and just.
Like, you know how they go to salt the streets when there's snow? Like,
yeah, they gotta do that with sage in the town.
all around the, like, brutal. Like, what the hell? But now, on a real note, great show. Another goodie on HBO's hands that they had. I was excited from the jump. Like I said, from the first trailer I saw with Ben Mendelsohn and Jason Bateman.
Yeah, I was in. Yeah, I was sold already. I didn't care how it turned out. Yeah.
Right. So it's crazy, dude. It's over already. I was hyped for it, and just boom, just like that. 10 weeks just goes by so fast.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? I mean, they had one bye week because of the Oscars or the Grammy, one of those things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they didn't show the Golden Globes, one of those things that they had like an off week, or the Super Bowl, I think.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. But
but yeah. So I think the next HBO thing coming on next week is Westworld season 3.
Dude, I saw the trailer for that. It's here's the thing. I'm obviously 3 seasons late on Westworld, but from what I've seen, it
Mhm.
is very reminiscent of some science fiction stuff that I'm into. So I think I'll like it. So I will
No, you.
eventually
I
check it
think
out.
you will.
Yeah,
Anthony Hopkins is in it, so that's a delight because
right
he
there.
is
You had me at Anthony,
right. He is a fucking one of the greatest actors of all time.
and I also peeped in the trailer that they got my guy Jesse Pinkman in there. I'm like, oh shit, like,
Yes.
and Tessa Thompson is in it. Like, I was just like, oh shit. I'm like, all right.
But yeah, HBO just always coming out with hits. There's another show that they got coming out, The Plot Against America. That looks fucking dope.
When's that dropping?
March 16th, the day after Westworld. And then Mark
Mm.
Ruffalo actually has a show premiering in April on HBO. I Know This Much Is True.
It's like a lawyer show.
Mark Ruffalo stars as twin brothers struggling with family history and mental illness in this limited series adaptation.
See ya. I'm in there. He's playing himself twice. See ya.
I guess so. But yeah, man. So yeah, y'all let us know if y'all want us to do more big shows.
Yeah, some breakdowns and stuff. Yeah, like I look. We watch other shit, my guys. Like,
Right, like I was gonna say,
yeah,
it's not, we don't strictly have to stick to comic books, y'all. Even though there is a lot of content in the comic book world to go, like, and we were gonna have for years and years, thank God. We can talk about all this other pop culture shit, and I hope there's a lot of outsider, you know, that have watched it or have read the book at least. And yeah, like for the most part, especially the primetime HBO shows, I would love to do whatever's popping on Netflix,
yeah,
you know, Amazon, those kinds of things. But yeah, like or just send us recommendations on our Instagram at Common Gods with a Z. You know, recommend us shows. Oh, review this, review that. We're willing to do it if we watch it and we like it.
yeah.
Even if we don't like it, we'll talk shit. So why not?
And that you could always depend on us about.
Always. We'll always talk shit. But yeah, man, I think that
That's it.
touch bases on everything on the show. But you know, thank y'all for listening once again. Weekly drops.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna try to make it a specific day. Like I hope we're able to drop every Tuesday, record every Monday, drop every Tuesday for
Yeah.
y'all, because that's the way for
And
us.
then, unfortunately, like, the way our schedules are and stuff, we can't really do like an in-person one where we do
Yeah,
longer
that's
form. Like
mostly
today,
reserved for movies and
today's episode, we went in because we like the show so much. But usually we're just gonna give y'all like an hour a week or whatever. But we will get some more in-depth analysis podcasts coming out soon, especially like for the likes of Black Widow, Wonder Woman, like especially like all the big events of the year and all that.
New
Yeah,
Mutants.
like even the TV shows that's dropping this year, like and all that, like and like WandaVision wrapped, right?
Yes, WandaVision
Exactly.
wrapped.
So like you guys, like we're gonna have a real busy summer.
Yes, we are.
Have a
I
real busy
cannot wait.
summer, yeah. But yeah,
Thank y'all for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, follow,
yes, sir.
Chillin' with Villains.
Chillin' with villains.